Regulation 700-127, Logistics Integrated Logistics Support. Unclassified Headquarters, Department, Army, Washington, D.C., 27 September 2007. Summary of change, revised purpose of publication, Chapter 1, update, reusability, integrated logistics support, Chapter 2, recognize and process elements, acquisition strategy, and new Chapter 3, add figures, integrated logistics support process, figure 3.1, define integrated logistics support elements, Chapter 3, add performance-based logistics policy 4, Chapter 4, recognizing remaining policy and section supporting planning, integrated logistics supporting management structure, maintenance planning, supportability consideration 5, adding policy support plans, level repair analysis, design parameters, reliability center maintenance, condition-based maintenance plans. Chapter 5, define core logistics analysis, update sources, repair depot, planning policy, figure 516 and 517, add figure of depot sources recommendation, determine figure 5.1. Preface of the Total Lifecycle Cost Management (TLCSM) establishes clear lines of responsibility, accountability, meaning warfighting support, performance, outstanding requirement of life of system for acquisition to disposal. The TLMC, or the Total Life System Management. There is no longer transition management of the program manager, the sustainment command after production field. The program manager of lifecycle manager, the LCM for the assigned program, will retain responsibility for managing, sustaining, upgrading, disposing system through a service of life. The PM, program manager, and supportability and is equally considered with the cost schedule performance throughout the life cycle of the assigned system. Through this policy, will refer to the term life system management as a program management to be consistent with the Army acquisition policy. Logistics, integrated logistics support. George W. Casey Jr., General, United States Army, Chief of Staff, Official Josie E. Morrow, Administrative Assistant for Secretary of the Army. History, publication, major revision. Summary of the regulation covers the Department of Army policy and the integrated logistics support, including the planning, development, acquiring, sustaining, well-defined affordability support strategies of Army material, the policy implementations of the key provisions of the Department of Defense 5000.1 and Department of Defense Instruction 5000.2. Applicability regulation applies to the active Army, Army National Guard, in the United States, the Army Reserves, unless otherwise regulation is applied during the full mobilization, unless otherwise stated. Proponent of the exemption authority, proponent of the regulation, Assistant Secretary for Acquisition Logistics Technology, proponent for the authority to approve exceptions or waivers to the regulation are consistent with the controlling law regulations. Proponent to delegate the approval authority in writing. Division chief within the proponent agency of the direct reporting field. Operating agency, the proponent agency, grade of colonel or civil equivalent activities may request with the waiver regulations, providing justification includes the full analysis, expected benefits, including formal review of a senior legal officer. All waivers requested endorsed with the commander of senior leader through the requesting activity forwarding through the headquarters to the policy prominence for the AR 2530 for the specific guidance Army Management Control process. The Army regulation contains the management control provisions in accordance with the AR 11.2 and identifies the key management controls must be evaluated in C Appendix C. Supplementation of this regulation, establishment of command local forms are prohibited without prior approval. Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army Intelligence and Logistics Support, SALA-Z, 103 Pentagon, Washington, D.C. 20310-0103. Suggestion improvements. Users are invited to send comments, suggested improvement. Departments of the Army Form 20228. Recommendation changes publication forms directly to the Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army Integrated Logistics Support at SALA-ZL 103 Pentagon, Washington, D.C. 200331 0-0103. Committee continuance approval. The Department of Army Committee Management Officers concurs with the establishment of the continuance of the committee outlined here in accordance with AR 15.1. Committee Management AR 15.1 requires the proponent justifying establishing continuing in the committee's coordination draft publications, coordination changing the committee status of the Department of Army Committee Management Office A10 SAAAA.RP Office of Administrative Assistant Resource Program Agency 2511 Jefferson Davis Highway Taylor Building 13th floor of Arlington, Virginia 2202396 26. Further determined as established group identified within the regulations later on characteristics of the community prominent will follow all AR-15 and 1 requirements establishing continuing the group of as a committee distribution of the public availability of electronic media is only intended to the commanding level of CD and E of the active Army, Army National Guard, of the Army National United States, or the and the U.S. Army Reserve. Unclassified AR 700-127 7th of September 2007. The publication supersedes AR 700-127 on December 19, 2005. Continents of General 1, General 2, Responsibilities 3, Process Framework 4, Based on Logistic Policy Implementation 5, Supportability ILS, Maintenance Planning and Other Considerations, and Chapter 6, Contracting Logistics Supports. A, Appendix Reference. B, Key PBL Milestone Decision Points Implementation Checklist. C, Management Control Evaluation Checklist and the Integrated Logistics Support Program. Table List, Integrated Support List Logistics, Elements of ILS, and BCA Approval Thresholds, Type 2 Formal BCAs. Figure List, Integrated Logistics Support Process through Program PBL Implementation Models, and Figure List Glossary. Chapter 1. The purpose. The regulations set for the policy of developing, acquiring, sustaining well-defined, affordable support that meets warfighting requirements of the Army material throughout the life cycle of the policy. A, defines deliberate process of the program manager used to develop integrated support strategy system engineering processing SEP to ensure a design can be supported throughout the life cycle. Identifies a framework of 10 integrated logistics support ILS elements that will be used to develop support strategies. C, assigns responsibility for developing support strategy. D, sets the policy developing support strategies in the support of Army material. E, outlines responsibility implementing support strategies. F, implementation of the total life cycle logistic requirements outlined on Department of Defense Directive DODD 5000.1, DOD Instruction DOD I 5002, and 1-2 reference and required related publications, prescribed forms of A listed Appendix A. 1-3 explanation abbreviation terms, abbreviation special terms used in regulation are explained in the glossary. 1-4 responsibility are listed in Chapter 2. Chapter 2, the responsibility. 1-2-1, the Assistant Secretary of the Army Financial Management Comptroller, the Assistant Secretary of the Army Financial Management Comptroller, FM&C, will review the program budget requests and supporting life cycle contract supporter. The LCCS, Integrated Weapon Systems and Working Capital Funds, as appropriate. 2.2, the Assistant Secretary of the Army Acquisition Logistic Technology, the ASA Acquisition Logistic Technology, ALT, will oversee this research, development, testing, evaluation of the acquisition of the material system and integrated logistics support for these systems of AR 70-1, establishing policies, oversees the development, execution, and program management. C, oversee the acquisition, lifestyle, logistic management function. D, ensure the reliability, availability, maintaining policy are followed during the acquisition process. Ensure the logistic consideration incorporated with warfighting U.S. Army training document and doctrine, command, TRADOC analysis, coordination with the Deputy Chief of Staff of G4, DCS G4, approval type 2 BCA of the Army category, ACAT 1 and 2 programs, product support strategy packages prepared for submitted with program managers. 2-3 Department Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army Integrated Logistics Support, Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army of Integrated Logistics Support, DASA ILS will Integrated Logistics Support Development, Army Integrated Logistics Policies, provide oversight of integrated logistics support programming, planning, budget execution, planning, budget, and execution, program planning, budget, and execution, PBBE, to include contractor logistics support, CLS, the support and material acquisition process, and the integrated requirements. Integrated logistic the support requirements are validated, including material acquisition process to support the full material release of program system, developing the process policy provided in the baseline logistics, performance baseline logistics, or PBL, served as Army acquisition logistics, formerly independent logistics, formerly for new modified upgrade displace material, except for some classes. Class 8 medical material, strategical communications strategy systems provided in supportability position of material of ACAT 1 through 3 systems. Army Logistics, DASA, and Integrated Logistics Support will 1. Establish internal procedures, techniques to assess portability management execution for all assigned acquisition programs, 2. Assistant program managers define support plans in terms of requirement, strategy, and cost affordability. 3. Participate in developing capability documentation, acquisition strategy plans, supportable strategies, testing plans, material fielding documentations, contracting solicitation documents, and other program documentations. 4. Participate in overarching integrated product team (OIPT), the program manager integrated project team (IPT), and working integrated product team is in WITT. IPT, the Working Integrated Product Team, WIT, IPT. Supportable Integrated Product of the SIPT, SIPT, Elevation Testing and Evaluation, TEP, and the Working Integrated Product Team, the WIPD, and the headquarters of the Integrated Logistics Service Report, ILSR. Activities further are assigned to materials in form of program manager, combat developer, CBTD, dev, material command. Other than participant and support ability and planning deficiency, unresolved issues will be evaluated by the OIPT, overarching integrated product team. Monitoring, marketing, surveys, and supportable testing provided by all available available experience with the data of the combat developer, dev, program manager, influence system design and SSS development, identify and resolve problems, mitigate supportable risks. 9. Participate in milestone decision other than program reviews. 10. Convey and chairing headquarters, DA, integrated logistic support reviews, ILSR, integrated logistics support reviews. For system approaching a milestone decision review, the establishment of HQ headquarters DA, the position concerning deployment and supportability for all acquisition programs, establish management lifecycle costs, achievement of the year awards, the program to recognize achievements of the integrated logistics support monitoring the Army integrated logistics support manpower and personnel integration manprint effort in coordination other than Army staff and agencies to ensure effective implementation of accordance with the HQ to headquarters of DoD requirements. Serve as the HQDA proponent chairman of the Army Integrated Logistics Support Executive Committee, the ALSEC. Serve as the headquarters department functional chief representatives, lifecycle costs, lifecycle logistics career field of the Army Acquisition Corps of Workforce. Serve as the headquarters proponent system of supportability analysis resulting in life logistic management information HLMI program. K. Headquarters proponent of DoD Acquisition Logistics Standard as program. 2-4. The Assistant Secretary of the Army Installation Environment and Assistant in the Secretary of the Army Installation Environment (INE) will ensure the environmental consideration, including environmental compliance, hazardous material use of establishment, and sustaining incorporated statistical analysis coordination with DC G4. Deputy Chief of Staff G4, establishing, maintaining organization to manage environmental assessment, supportability, material system, and coordinated with the ASA/ALT. The Assistant Chief of Staff Installation Management, the Assistant Chief of Staff Installation Management (ACM). ASIM it will coordinate with facility construction programs, monitoring integrated logistics support, environmental faculty implementations, and perform necessary analysis advanced planning program for receipt for the new modified upgraded displays, including environmental analysis, national environmental policy (NEPA), and Part 6251, Title 32 of the Code Federal Regulations 32 CFR 6251. Programming, gaining installation, new modified facilities and needed to meet facility requirements identified in the support facility annexes SFA by the Corps of Engineering Co. Participate in DA integrated logistics support reviews. And 2-6. Deputy Chief of Staff G3, 5, and 7. Deputy Chief of Staff G3, 5, and 7. GC Deputy Chief of Staff Garrison 3, 5, and 7 have responsibility for development, establishment, and priorities employment of the Army forces. Will 2A ensure initial production procurement and items new equipment, including secure equipment issued in the training bases, timely training development, establish and functional training documentation procedures, ensure the unit activity modified table of organization and equipment MTO, table of distribution allowance of the TDA. Authorization documentations are updated into enabling requested personnel, supplies, and equipment, and C. Approval of Army warfighter performance based on agreements WPBA of the materials utilizing by the performance-based logistics strategies. Participating in DA integrated logistics support reviews serves as a functional management, Army operating support, cost reduction, and OSCR programs. Deputy Chief of Staff G4 DCS G4 will evaluate effective logistics supportability using readiness reporting field assessment results, assuring the sustaining function, readiness, supply services, maintenance, transportation, aviation, munitions, security assistant related to automatic logistics supporting management is fully integrated, properly balanced between acquisition and logistics for the total system life cycle. Participate in headquarters integrated logistics reviews. Participate in Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army DASA integrated logistics integrated IPTs, development and logistics support of the program manager, information requirements in coordination with the United States Army Material Command (AMC), the issue policy guidance of the standardized automatic identification technologies, equipment, applications, formats to decrease the cost of ensuring interoperability, integrated acquisition training of the career development logistic workforce in coordination with the DCS General Garrison 1, ensuring the supply chains principle consideration and integrated supportability and analysis. Deputy Chief of Staff G. Garrison 1 will ensure maximize utilization, supportability, and analyze in meeting of the manprint objectives. Participate in DA integrated logistics reviews. Participate in DSA integrated logistics surveys. Integrated logistics support, logistics integrated programming. IPTs is required. Establish dissemination of manprint program policies, guidance, and ensuring adequate integration of ILS manprint efforts. Designation of person to serve as an ALSEC and the Chief of Information of Office G6, Chief Information Officer CIO G6 will develop Army interests and develop Army enterprise architecture, Army enterprise infrastructure, include logistics domain, data requirements, ensure logistic demand requirements, confirming common data standard specification protocols to support common logistic operating environments, OEs, managing in IT investment portfolio logistics, preparing technical architecture views the integration Army integrated logistics architecture AILA and support of joint capabilities integration development systems of JSID milestone requirements. 210 the Surgeon General provides advice consultation of the PM CBTDFs and potential health hazards problems associated with medical aspects of all material acquisition program development ILS for medical class 8 material including designation of logistics in accordance with AR 4060, AR 4061. Participation of DA integrated logistic reviews appropriate, and participate in DSA integrated logistics support. Logistics at IPT is required to designate a person to serve as the ALSA. 211 the Chief Engineers Code responsibility for facility construction program landing acquisition requirements activity Army advising PM facility implementation system design and minimize support facility cost impact of the Army facility standardization program, identifying facility requirements of the material safety material system of the gaining Army commands ACOMs, the Army Service Component commands ASSEC CC direct reporting units DRUs, the formal input of the program manager, training program developer, the TD and the training program developer, and the training developer and the CBTDF participate in the SIPs for facility program requirement issues, coordinate the facility real property requirements of the CBT Dev program manager OSE SIMS and gaining ACOM ASCCs and direct reporting units and Army acquisition logistics training and training development and assistant preparation of the SFA and the OASM SIM ACOM and ASCC director unit reporting units selected supportability strategies fielding documentation applicability testing provide formal current coordination and updating necessary on the SFA with supportable strategy, providing a copy of the SFA to the ACSM, DAIM, MD, gaining ACOM, AR, Army National Guard, ASCC, and the U.S. Army Reserves, directing report units installation, participating in DA integrated logistics support reviews, participating in DASA integrated logistics IPT as required, designating a person to severe ALSA. 212 Program Manager. The PM responsible planning implementation integrated logistics as an integrated part of the assigned material acquisition. The Program Manager enlists the support of the Army Material Command of the LCMC to carry out the responsibility. Will establish internal procedure control and implementation policies to ensure the passage system of one life cycle phase next occurs will the only supportive requirements has been satisfactorily accomplished fully defined in the ASS that includes the detailed plan to achieve full material release prior to the FRP decision prior to the milestone B, the designation of the Integrated Logistics ILSM, and participate in the pre-milestone B activities of the CBTDF, leave development, initial SS updated to SS throughout the life cycle, conduct appropriate supportability analysis of the CBTDF, participate in development and capability documentation, prepare reviews of the acquisition documentation to ensure logistic consideration adequately designed or adequately defined, serve the SIP chair to the CBT, prepare, submit, and obtain approval of the type of the BCA outlines requirements, functional systems, and determine the system should be developed and PBL criteria to assign for the integrated logistics support management to lead to the SIPT and milestone B. The program manager is appointed early in accordance with AR 70-1 and continue refinement and implementation of the SSI integrated logistics support will establish to assume chair of the SIPT. At the same time, the integrated logistics support manager will serve as the print manager, ensure supply chain management principles as considered in the integrated logistics support process and supportability analysis. Insurance of the property PLBL integrated is considered by the performance-based logistics considering supportive and alternative use in determining economical operational feasibility, ensuring supportability issues and concerning identifying correcting during testing prior initial system to fielding, ensuring the deficiencies covering during the initial fielding and correctly coordinated material fielding requirements of the supporting the lifecycle management command of the LCMC logistics supporting activity LOGSA to ensure the items that are required of the supporting system fielding with availability, time, place agreed, and within the gaining of ACOM, ASCC, and director reporting units of the AR 700-142, ensuring the key logistics design criteria such as reliable, maintainability, supportability, meeting the system threshold, focus, minimize logistics footprint of the system, the critical during initial system architectural trade-off analysis, ensure the trade-off evaluated, supported, co-equal to the cost of performance scheduled during the development, execution system acquisition process, ensuring the trade-off documentation through the acquisition process, ensuring the integrated logistics support planning design influence to include the supportability, environmental engineering, and the man-print engineering performance attributed to the critical criteria of the system engineering trade-off analysis incorporated during the system and engineering, addressing the material system design reviews, coordinating supportability, sustaining environmental planning requirement study analysis, implementations of the ASA and IE and U.S. Environmental Command, CBTD, DevCo, and Army Logistic Training Testers, independent evaluators, those supporting commands, other applicable military service agencies to include the Defensive Logistics Agency, and coordinating, developing, and updating supporting facility annexes SSS with CO and use of standards a system to collect, maintain logistics data required in similar systems of the SIPT, participation, performing supportability analysis, logistics integrated warehouse, the LIW, and is the authority to source the logistics data available for https://www.logsa.army.mil. Ensure SIPT members have the access to contract data, perform the analysis, ensure the system training plan strap is initiated in accordance with AR 350.380 and prepare coordination inter-service support agreements initiated department depot program initiated requirements determining whether material system mobilization secure surge requirement documentations of the SS performance-based agreements of the PBAs, the other program management documentation obtaining funds necessary to identify acquiring implementations of the SS and necessary to determine the effect of reducing funds, achieving project system readiness levels of life cycle costs, LCC goals, overall supportability program execution are ensure supportability evaluated that the acquisition program provides sufficient material system prototypes and commercial NDIs and production items and logistic demonstration LD supportable technology and environment and energy to enable statistically valid sample basis estimating sustaining requirements, ensuring supportability elevated in the logistics demonstration using tested validation, ensuring deficiencies are identified and corrected prior to the initial system fielding. Ensure the core logistic analysis, core depot assessment, and CDA source of repair analysis, and the inter-service joint depot maintenance of activity group JDA MAG. GD MAG. Study initiated as early as possible to ensure the statutory compliance with appropriate milestone reviews include man-print requirements, logistics support strategies, concepts, plans, documentations, and the SSB designated post-production software support activity to ensure integrated logistic principles are also applied to the software development, monetary software development to ensure portability plans of software supporting a fielding, supporting headquarters, integrated logistic report, and centralized management LCCS, logistic of TDAs, training devices, and and the devices will be authorized at one location at one or more at more than one location. Centralized management includes planning, programming, budgeting, resourcing, supporting logistics costs, life cycle costs, um, support, upgrading training devices, tactics, associated weapon systems, and changes, negotiating, awarding, administration to the contracts of life cycle costs, support, applying a level repair analysis (LORA) methodology using approved metal molding tools, computer adaptive placement assessment, supportive system compass and compass light, and so forth. Develop initial and maintenance concept. The concept shall be based on economic, non-economical constraints, readiness requirement, and phase repair strategies throughout life cycle and using engineering estimating that will refine over the time with field experience, coordinate with all maintenance allocations of the proponent schools. Apply historical lessons learned of the accident experience to minimize total ownership costs. 213 Material Commands. The Principal Material Command of the U.S. Army Material Command (AMC), including the subcoordinate life cycle management commands ACOM, LMCC, CEL, LCMC, JM&L, and LCMC, and TACOM, LCMC. The Logistics Support Activity Logs. The other material commands of the U.S. Army Intelligence Security Command (INSCOM), the U.S. Army Installation Management IAMCOM, U.S. Army Corps of Engineering Co., U.S. Army Medical Research and Material U.S. Army MC, and U.S. Army Space Missile Defensive Command and Army Strategy Command. The Army Commander's Material will establish interlogistics support of organization to ensure compliance, primary interlogistics support policy and procedures, provided matrix support to assign program management, integrated logistics support material when requested for the program manager to participate in SIPT during the development and acquisition and execution of the SS, assistant with the PM throughout the life cycle cost of applying the integrated logistic principles utilized and collected during the wartime field exercise peace operations to continue intellectual effort necessary to optimize the logistics support, reduce logistics footprint, and minimize an LCC. In addition, with Commander AMC will support interlogistics management with supportability analysis SAs and LMIs. The SA, the support analysis technical assistance is required to ensure integrated logistics support and considerations as applied to the design, new, modified, and upgraded system considerations, selecting commercial NDI, serving DoD SA supportive activity, and establishing support material to civilian career development programs of integrated logistic managers and specialists, integrated logistic related engineers coordinated with the DCG4, Garrison 4, provided with the interlogistics support, functional support of the PM Memorandum Agreement, which will be used to detail support provided, participate in Joint Service Acquisition Logistics Standardization Program. 7. Provide a representative to ALSEC, provide SA Army Material System Analysis Agency, AMC, ASA, Army Evaluation Center, AEC, DASA, Integrated Logistics Support, Evaluation Logistics Support of ALCAT level programs. 9. Provide technical guidance support, Program Manager, vendors, field, and Army commands of prevention, control, of corrosion. 10. Support the PM sustaining deployed material, hardware, software, including the supplementing CLS plan for support. 11. Provide industrial base support of the ASL ALT program management in accordance with the AR 790. Assisted development BCA as support of the PBL concept. Provide input to the SS. Provide single Army logistics enterprise sale architect service support sustainment of the weapon system. Integrate best business practices of the PBL strategy. Ensure the interoperability for the standardization technical data, common look and feel of electronic technical interactive technical manuals, IETMs. It provides supportability in logistic planning guidelines, software tools, and participate in DL, ILSRs 214, the combat developers. The command of the U.S. Army Training Doctrine Command TRADOC is the Army principle of CBT Dev, and the CBT Dev is a Class 8 medical material. U.S. Army Medical Center and School AMEDEX DCNS and other CBT devs include INSOCOM and Networks Enterprise Technology Command. 9th Army Signal Command NetCom fulfills the roles of combat developer directing report unit. The CBT devs develop operating and support concept doctoring, organization, force structure, determine material requirements for equipping for these force structures. All user representatives of CBT devs will ensure the system development efforts and consider the user requirements to ensure the supportability program fulfills the needs of user. CBT devs will establish internal policies, procedures, techniques, implementation, policies, conducting applicable supportability analysis, trade-off functions, and developing capabilities, documentation, establish logistic requirement constraints, system design parameters, system readiness objectives to SROs, conduct analysis, alternatives to include alternative operations and system support concept with specific consideration performance basis options, develop specific measurable tested support related requirements and parameters based on required logistics operational performance LCC and goals readiness requirements. Assess impact of proposed system on maintenance and compatibilities planned on the periodic in which the system will be introduced. Assess the concept of technology embedded with the system health manager with regard to ability to facility to embed diagnostic instrumental prognosis, implement maintenance and enablers, identifying key performance related source parameters, inclusion capabilities, documentation, including reliability, maintainability, and operability, main power deployment, from the form of the basis overall capability system of the perform enduring the required mission operational environmental. Incorporate net-centric common logistic operational environments, common logistic operating environment, CLOE, and consideration capabilities, incorporate system maintainable operating supportability, unique identifier identification, consideration of the capabilities, documentation, the supportability concept of the requirements, initial capability, documentation capabilities, development, documentation capabilities, production, documentation, developing rough order of magnitude, LCC, estimating includes all phases of acquisition process through the disposal of documentation of the ICD. The initial capability document. The LCC is estimated, updated, and subsequent capabilities documentation and the prior milestone formal program initiation designation and integrated logistics support lead who will 1. Form initial SIPD, prepare supportability analysis, 2. Develop initial SS using the SA, ensuring the product support strategy, PSS, documentation, acquisition strategy, 3. Develop appropriation logistics metrics, criteria, funding requirements in the acquisition program baseline, developing supportability testing issues, coordination with the training developer, assessing evaluated Army logistic overing program participation, ensuring Army appropriate logistic consideration, test point documentation, and testing evaluation master plan. The TEP participating SIPD after the PMI integrated logistics management are assigned to the program, participate in the decision program reviews, the DAL interlogistics supportive reviews. Inform and program participant changes affecting supportability, environmental program planning, fully considered logistic transformation policy. P. Ensuring establishment, implementation, training program of the trainer to develop skills needed for the operations supporting the newly fielded system for fully station support and operable. PM ensures the integrated logistic report constrained the coordination, including the material system contractual solicitation, source selection, documentation, defined transportation, mobility, and coordination with military surface deployment, distribution command, transportability evaluation agency, the MSDD CT, the material system assessed for the unit mobility impact during the development process, establish support commandment conditions of requirements, initial and operatable capabilities, IOC data, the coordination of the program manager gating ACOM, Army National Guard, ASCC, U.S. Army Reserves, and Direct Reporting Unit, coordinating the program management to determine the use of the contractor, supporting developing support concept, and coordinate with supporting gain of commands and necessary procedure implementation contractor if the required NU provide representatives to support ALSEC, and B, participate developing PBL metrics desired outcome. 215, the Commander of the Army Testing Evaluation Command, ATEC. The Commander of the Army Testing Evaluation Command is responsible for testing, evaluating integrated logistics for all Army acquisition programs. Will assess, evaluate opportunities sustainable to include supportability for assigned acquisition program accordance with DPAM 700-28. Review recommendation requirements, capabilities, documentation, acquisitions plans, supportability strategies, testing plan, material fielding, documentation, integrated program summaries, integrated logistics support, and environmental IPTS, integrated IPRs, meetings, and other meetings, monitoring supportability, operational testing, including logistics demonstration, identifying supportability programs that impact to assist the findings, resolution, influence, and system design to enhance supportability, evaluate unresolved issues of the OIPT, ensuring the temp evaluation accurately addressed to the supportability will be tested, evaluated, and part of the performance of the system, primary system performance suitability metrics will include availability footprint of the LCC review, comment technical data received from the manufacturer regarding the acquisition of the commercial and the NDI, where these data may be used to satisfy abbreviated or waiver formal testing, to provide integrated logistic evaluation input, DSA, integrated logistics support, and coordinate integrated logistics support, environmental findings positions of the DASA, integrated logistics support agrees to the ATEC position, provide representatives of ALSEC and J include support requirements, concepts of technology and energy programs and plans, testing, evaluating, supporting requirement compatibilities, concept accordance within approved temp, and developing logistics supportability, technical concept, objective scopes, and integrated logistics, which address the total system, including manpower, supporting item, training, provision, facilities, testing resources, unique concepts, milestones, coordinated with the CBT, DEV, and Army Logistic, independent tested evaluator, providing program manager other than program participant with data similar field and systems to include influence and supportable requirements, participate in technology, energy, WIPIT, SIPT, and DALSR activities, provide a copy of technology and environmental plans and reports, especially in class 8 medical materials and DASA, integrated logistics support, SAL, ZEL. The SIPD members provide copies of the supply class and medical aid of the U.S. Army Medical Material Agency, USAM, MCMR, MMTE, Frederick, Maryland, 21701 0501, with test reports available in time permitted. The DSI Integrated Logistics USAM MA Assessment Decision Program reviews authenticated to testing data provided by the ensuring coordination of the program manager test, ensure the impacts testing of environmental consideration and documentation. 216, the Director of Military Surface Deployment Distribution Command Transportation Evaluation Agency, the Direct Military Surface Deployment Distribution and Commanding Transportation Evaluation Agency, MISTA T will provide transportation engineering assistant deployment analysis assistant design guidelines requirement approvals to the program manager, CB devs, and participant during the system acquisition, provide transportation deployment assessment, CB devs, and PM throughout acquisition process, ensure liaison with all services. The DLA will ensure transferability matters and participate in SIPD required ensure transport procedures newly system covered in the MSDACCT guidance, and participate in headquarter DA ILSR request to provide representation to the ALSEC and provide final transportation approval, provided corrective actions needed to obtain approval from milestone C. Transportation ability approval with MSDACCT is required for the milestone C. 217, training developers and principal training and training developers, TD and T/TD and TRADOC, other TD training and training developers, including Army Material Command, MedCom, and NSCOM, and USACE, to ensure the integrated logistic program fills in the training and training development needs. And these training and developers will need participate in SIPT, determine that training, including embedded training devices requirements in accordance with the system approaching training, SAT outlined in the AR 350-38, developing acquiring training capabilities, coordinating analysis data requirements of the other SIPT requirements, ensuring integration, providing compilation of initial following of the training operations, supporting newly fielded system for the sustaining supported field system, determining submitting to training plans of the headquarters USA, SEMP DA, gaining ACOM, Army National Guard, AICC, U.S. Army Reserve, developing reporting unit, and developing the training requirements. Conducting training evaluation to assess capability between field operation training doctrine organization field systems and provide evaluation feedback, lessons learned, and doctrine training in combat developers and other appropriate actions. 218 Commanders, Army Commanders, and Army National Guard, Army Reserves, Army Service Component Commands, and Directory Report Units, Commanders of Gaining Army Commands, ACOMs, Army National Guard, RNG, ARNG, and U.S. Army Reserves, USAR, Army Service Component Commands, ASCC, Directory Reporting Units, DRUs, to participate in integrated logistic process by planning the receipt of new and modified, upgraded, and displaced systems. The commander gaining ACOM, Army National Guard, U.S. Army Reserve, Army Service Component Commands, and Directory Reporting Units will provide advice of the Army Logistics Program Management, CBD, Dev, materials pertaining to expected system operational employment support, negotiate and sign PBA material systems utilizing PBL strategies, coordinating, gaining pre-EBL, logistic center management control center, lifecycle cost management center, providing signed copies of the PBA, fielding material systems. The PBA will provide the commander, ACOM, Army National Guard, U.S. Army Reserves, the Army Service Component Commands, and direct reporting unit of the Direct Deputy Chief of Staff, Garrison 4 Logistics Division, and Deputy Chief Staff G4, the 4th Structure Division. 219 Integrated Logistics Support Executive Committee. The Army Integrated Logistics Support Executive Committee, ALSEC, provides former representative Army organization plan to discuss and resolve integrated logistics policy issues and concerning procedures, to provide advice and counsel regarding implementation of the Army Integrated Logistics Program. ALSEC, Army Integrated Logistics Support Executive Committee, will develop policies, procedures for conducting DAA integrated logistic reviews, and establish mid and long range integrated logistic goals and objectives. Review integrated logistics support process, integrated logistics support for adequacy, identification, functional requirements within which should expand to clarified, updated, improve integrated logistics support process. For recommendation, policy procedures will improve integrated logistics support, assist establishment, effective implementation, prioritize integrated logistics support, will relationships, the process communication among Army commands within Office of Assistant Secretary of Army Acquisition Logistic Technology, OSAALT, Headquarters, Army Material Command, Lifecycle Command, Material Command, LCMC, LOXA, and other Army DoD activities. Ensure development, coordination, integrated logistic education, training, career program, identifying review command, recommended resolution of systematic support issues. 220 other participant in system acquisition process shall provide timely review, approval, submission of applicable integrated logistic document, accomplishment of the status document, task intent, identified in supportability strategy associated with field documents. Chapter 3, Process and Framework.